I'm now in as Matt, who is a manager. He's a manager of the sales staff. So once again, I log in as Matt. Because I'm a manager and not an administrator, that first drop-down menu where I can configure Scorecard and everything, it disappears, but I do have a drop-down menu looking at my staff. If I go into Appraisal, Scorecard, I can see my Scorecard appraisal. So if I click on that, these are the appraisals that have been achieved. This one at this stage is waiting for a self-rating deliverable, which I will show you how that works. But supposing I've now got score definitions set up, and every single month I've got certain measurements. I would go into monthly score, and under my monthly score, I would see all the records of every single month from January through to December with a running average. So when it comes time for my appraisal, there's no books in the cupboard, because every month I've been scoring myself against all of these definitions with my weightings, and I can actually build up a little bit of a history. Some of the things may in fact only be scored at the end of the period. For example, all training completed within the period, that wouldn't be scored monthly, it would purely be scored at the end. This may be quarterly or every 2 months. Performance management of scorecards updated. So some of the things may be done every single month. Some of the things may only be done at certain times. So I can see all of that. If I then look at, I've got this little flashing item up here. It says you have an item due, and this is my item due. It's a self-rating. So I can have a look at my monthly score. So I can see my monthly scores. There's my running average, which is all there for me. But I then go into deliverable, and I now am going to rate myself. In other words, I've now received an email at the end of the period saying, please complete this personal assessment. So I would then give myself 4 or 5 as I go through the stars. You can see the numbers appear. Here's my score definition, less than 20%, a little definition that I set up, so I can check my different score definitions that have already been set up prior to this process, and I would rate myself. And once I've completed that, I would then click completed, and my manager would then receive an email asking them to rate me, and similarly they would see my score and they would rate me, and we would then get together and agree on those. So just having a look, for example, at staff scorecard appraisals, if I have a look at Jackpot, for example, this is one of Matt's staff members, I can see that everything has been done. I can see the financial people, customer, there the scores that he got. His total score is 4.06 out of 5. If I wanted to have a look at the monthly scores, I could click on those monthly scores. He hasn't set up the whole monthly scores. This was done just for a 6-month period. I can have a look at the report. When I click on that report, it shows me that's what Jackpot was being measured on. Here are the different categories. Here are the weightings. There's staff appraisal, there's the manager's appraisal, and there's the agreed appraisal with that 4.06 score at the bottom. If I want to have a look at the category averages, financial performance, people, etc., I can see those averages there. And any personal development, there aren't any comments, but obviously there'd be personal development comments and comments about possible things that need to be done in the future. And this would all be recorded. So, for example, let me go into Stu here. He's already had one appraisal done. He's got a 3.42. The most recent one is 3.38. So this would then build up a history. Once again, I could have a look at all those reports and delve into that. So it gives you an idea of what's available at the end of the 6-month period.